Hi everyone, I am Shan.
And I am Tam. This is the Real Talk Podcast.
On this podcast, we have some candid conversations between us.
We invite you to not only listen, but interact with us and our guests as we have some real
talk.
Shan and Tam fam, we are back with you for another episode of Real Talk. And I'm hoping that we're going to have some real talk today, Shan, because today's topic is something that I came across while I went out with the girls earlier this week.
Yeah.
And we went to Trey Anthony's show of called Black Girl in Love with Herself. And it is based on her book that she recently wrote and released. And the book and the show is sort of loosely based around, experiences that she's had, things she's encountered, particularly in the last couple years. And so the book is about, kind of giving advice on certain areas. Now, there were so many things in that show, Shan, like I wish you had been there with us. But one of the topics that really jumped out for me that she, kind of delved into a little bit in the show, and it's also in the book, was about being a safe space. And I immediately thought of you. And I'm like, this would be an awesome topic for us to talk about.
Yeah.
So the question today is, are you a safe space for someone? And what does that look like?
That's a very interesting and powerful question, because I know we spoke a little bit about it this week, Tam. I was like, it's so interesting when you brought about the topic and made the connection with the show, because I was saying I was just finishing the episode of a series, and the storyline with the mom, the grandmother, and the daughter spoke specifically about that. And one of the things the grandmother was seeing as society, we're taught as women not to trust each other. Right. And the story was so powerful because it showed the bond and the connection between these three women over 3 generations, which was so special. Right. And it's something it was so beautiful to see in the story. And then it came to your question, are you a safe space for someone? And really, in order for you to be a safe space for someone, I think you also have to be safe with your own self, right? You have to be real with your own feelings, your own emotions, to be a safe space for someone. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I totally get it, because that was one of the first things that came to me as I was sitting there experiencing this show and thinking about, oh my gosh, this is such an awesome topic that we should talk about for our listeners and get them thinking about it too, for those who, weren't able to experience that. And it's one of the first things that came to me. I'm like, you have to be comfortable with yourself. You have to bring your full self, who you are, to that relationship for you to be a safe space for somebody else, right?
I agree.
One of the things that she talked about in the show was that it was really around the vulnerability of us, and what that means to somebody else or what it looks like to somebody else who you're trying to lean on to give you support, or to move you into a different space in your life, whatever it is you're experiencing. And she was kind of specifically talking about her mom and how her mom reacted to a life-changing thing that happened to her, right? And how her mom wasn't really able to, like, her mother was just pretty much saying, you're gonna get through it, like just keep going, push through, right? And
But it wasn't the reaction she was expecting.
it wasn't the reaction that she was expecting. It's not that you don't want to hear that. And it's not that that may not be true, but in this moment, what do I need you to do for me? Is it that you just need to listen? Is it that you just need to let me feel what I'm feeling and validate that's okay? Is it that I need to just break down and be totally like not able to do nothing, just bawl?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you facilitate that, right? But knowing that you're also going to be the person who's going to help me to, okay, now you've had your cry. It's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to feel sad. It's okay for you to mourn. It's okay for you to be depressed. You're now going to help me to move beyond that space and not stay there.
What's the next steps? Yeah.
So the thing about it was that she was saying, you know, we've been taught to be like these strong Black women.
I was just thinking that when you spoke, not to express emotions,
right,
and not to be vulnerable. We're so strong, you know, we're the strong Black woman. We carry everything on our backs and everything. But Black women do feel emotions and do break down and do go through things. And as you said, Tam, you need that person or those persons, you know what I mean? More power to those people who have more than one people. But if you have one, I think that's a blessing. But you can't just be outward vulnerable with and cry, right? Today's a hard day, and go through your stuff, and you can just express your emotions. But as you said, Tam, that person to be able to pull you back up and walk with you through that process.
Real talk.
Real talk. And I have to tell you, like, my thoughts immediately went to our relationship. As I was sitting there listening to her, and me and the girls who we had gone out together, we kind of debriefed after, and I was saying to them, you know, at the age that I am in life, I never thought I'd be building like certain types of relationships anymore. I was satisfied with who my friends were. I knew my circle, not that I didn't go out and meet people and what have you. And I met you. And, you know, that relationship really developed, grew deep. We connected on such levels. And I can say that in the absence of other people who I consider to be safe spaces in my life, you're the one person I talk to every single day. Sometimes I wonder if we're not tired to chat to one another.
But it's funny you said that, because the connection and the bond is so strong, and I can touch a little bit even this week when I said, you okay? Something I feel off.
Yeah,
we know when something is going on with each other. Because the whole fact is that we talk so much with each other, we pray with each other, we're vulnerable with each other. So we, someone said, no, something wrong with my friend, All right, make we talk about that.
There's a shift in the energy.
The energy shift. Something that go on.
Yes.
Something that take my spirit. Yeah, understand?
Yeah. The spirit not take one going right now.
Listen, God, you have been such a blessing in my life. And listen, every woman deserves to have someone they can be safe with.
Right.
I think it is such a beautiful blessing to have a sisterhood, a friendship, a bond with somebody where you can be yourself with without judgments.
Yeah.
Right? But to get that, you have to be that.
Yes. And I feel that that's kind of the crux of where it is. Like, who are you as a person? Because I know that, like, my mom has always said, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but, at a point when I was struggling with what is my purpose in life? Everybody seems to know their purpose, but me not think me have none. Yes. Trying to figure out what that was. My mom had said to me one day, she's like, have you ever stopped to think about how good you are to the people you have in your life?
Real
She's
talk.
like, Yeah, real talk. She's like, you're an amazing friend, right? You love the people you love and you love them deeply. And she was saying that to say that if this is what you're meant to be doing in this phase of your life, then that's your purpose.
Yeah, that's your purpose.
And I feel like that's what I have to bring to the table. And so that is why when I find a connection and have a friendship and a relationship like we do, that if it's genuine, it's natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah, real friend better than pocket money, as
real
them
friend
say.
better than pocket money. And I was saying to the ladies too that you know, you're one of the people that are the person closest to me right now. Where if me have to brought down and ball, you know, tell me, said, don't ball, stop it.
I know.
You give me the space to feel, and you give me the space to cry, and you give me the space to lament and do whatever. And then
we all cry with each other.
Right.
And then we'll pick up. We pick up and then we'll move on. Yeah, I understand. I mean, but you listen, you need that. You need that. And I'm so grateful and thankful for our friendship and our sisterhood, because, you know, I've always wanted that relationship in a sister. You know, I can speak to a few relationships that I do have as well, that, you know, you're vulnerable with that person, because you do need that sisterhood. You do need that sisterhood, and I'm glad that God has placed you in my life and other women that I can talk and share and cry and laugh and you move on without judgments, right?
Yeah.
You be vulnerable with.
Real talk.
Real talk. And that was another thing too that I thought about when, you know, it's not that you're gonna be going out and making friends or for having this kind of friendship with anybody where you come across. But
no, and everybody.
The fact of the matter is that you can have multiple people who you share this type of connection with, right? And it really is about being vulnerable. And there also has to be a great level of trust.
Yes, I think so too. And I think different friendships have different levels as well too.
Yes, yeah.
I think so too, right? I think different friendship has different level. Not to say that one friendship is more significant than the other. I think each friendship serves a particular purpose, right? But I agree with what I said earlier. For you to have a safe space in someone, you also have to be a safe space for that person.
Right. And I don't think we always have to tell somebody that, listen, you need to be strong in the moment.
Just make people vent and make people cry.
Let people feel.
And I think that's one of the things we spoke about on our earlier podcast too, when we're talking about the connection with even Job. And when Job went through his trials, and the friends that came, them never come to give him advice. Them just come and sit with him in silence.
Yes.
Right? They just came and sat with him in silence. And sometimes just even the presence of having somebody there, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You just want to sleep, or you just have somebody there, and just their presence is comforting alone. I think that's powerful too.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes you don't need to say anything. You just need to need to listen or just be still.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that is as powerful as well too.
So I think that, you know, we shouldn't be afraid to sort of connect with people. Is one of the things that I wanted to kind of bring to the fore, is that, and even in your own maybe familial relationships or, you know, just friendships, you shouldn't be afraid to make that connection. We have to be mindful, or we have to be, maybe not mindful is the right word. We
have to use discernment and who we are chat to.
Yes.
And then everybody need to have the have the privilege or should get the privilege of
Yes.
knowing some of our deepest
Yes.
thoughts and emotions. Not everybody, you don't have to trust everybody with your heart.
Right. Yes. I
Right?
believe so. Right. And I just think being who you are, and if you're a caring person and letting people know that you care, showing your own vulnerability as well, showing your own emotions is equally important to being that person for somebody where they can show you their deepest emotions. So
and I think that's key too, because people will say that you're human, right? And you struggle just like them. You know, it's gonna be hard to connect with somebody when you make it seem as if you don't go through things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is a key thing. If you're going like say your life perfect,
oh my God, it is wonderful.
Let's all be flawed together.
The kids are great. The marriage is perfect. The job is just absolutely amazing.
Wonderful.
Then why make I want to chat to you when my life will fall apart? You understand me? I say?
Real talk.
Real talk.
You're
yes. Yeah,
yes,
no page or call me. You know, the middle of we doing our thing.
Oh,
that little girl.
She need to happen at Jamaica and leave you alone.
Left me alone. And yeah, so yeah, like being true to what's going on in your own life and space is important. And I think the other thing too is that you don't always have to give advice.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't want to give them advice, you know. They just want you to listen.
Yeah. And I think sometimes too, as women, we're always jumping for problem solve. Oh my God, let me fix this problem, man. And you're right. Sometimes people just want you to be still and to listen.
Yeah.
Right? It's a different space for different things.
And one of the most important things, which I think you mentioned, is that you need to be void of the judgment.
Yeah.
You know? Be compassionate instead of being judgmental.
Real talk. I'm so can't wait and excited to read this book because it seems as if there's so many nuggets. Yes. And so many things in it. And I know we talked about even introducing it on our book club.
Yes.
So I really look forward to digging deeper into this book because I'm sure as we read, there will be so much more stuff that comes up.
Absolutely. I foresee that there will be tons of discussions and really good discussions. You know, the ladies on our book club, we don't short a conversation.
No, sir, we can't chat some more.
And everybody brings something brilliant to the table all the time.
Absolutely.
Like, you know? So
Absolutely.
So I was really excited to just have this little conversation with you about what this, you know, what it meant, what you thought about this, and for us to throw it out there to our listeners to say, you know, are you a safe space for somebody? Like, what does that look like? How do you facilitate that, you know? So we hope that this has been quick and dirty.
Real talk.
And something for you to ponder. Look at the people around you in your lives, right? Look at who your friends are. When they come to you, what are you really telling them? How are you, what are you doing for them? How are you facilitating their maybe most vulnerable times, right?
Yes.
What do you do in that? So we hope this has been another topic that has either piqued your interest and possible, whet your appetite to discuss it with your own circle. And again, we'll remind you all that we are on various platforms: Spreaker, Spotify, Facebook. I don't know what happened to me. I lose the voice.
Yeah, lose the voice. King, tell myself we need to call out the name of the pages for the listeners so them know exactly. So to say the Facebook name and the Instagram name properly so the listeners can know.
Thank you, King, our marketing director. Big up. Okay, so yes, our Facebook page, listeners, it's Real Talk with Shan and Tam. Our YouTube page is Shan and Tam. Our Instagram page is Sisters Shan and Tam. And we are on Spotify and Spreaker as Real Talk with Shan and Tam. Me tell us that boy have a career in marketing.
Yes, remember the mom on a need for 7 name on the pages for people who haven't been on the site. Someone said, okay,
Yes.
right, where might I come next
Thank
time?
you, King. And you are absolutely correct. Friends, you all take care until next time. Walk good and stay well.
All right, blessings.
Don't forget to visit Shan and Tam on all their social media websites. At Sisters Shan and Tam on Instagram, Shan Tam Lodge-Lee on Facebook, and check out their blogs at shanandtam.blogspot.com. Tune in again next time on Real Talk.